And we are back here talking with Peter Kuria, CEO and founder of Solai Coffee. He's a farmer, technologist, and community builder. So, Peter, how long does it take for coffee to go from the plant to someone's morning cup?
A very long time. It takes a whole year. Remember, when you plant the seed, it's got to take 3 years for it to bear fruit.
Wow.
Once it gets off the tree, it has to go through another rigorous processing, fermentation, washing, drying. And then it has to be milled, like removing something from the seed. And then it has to be shipped, for me, if you're in Orlando, 18,000 nautical miles. And then once it lands here, it has to be warehoused, and then it has to be roasted. Once it's roasted, then you got to find a machine. And you got to grind it. Mm-hmm. And then once you grind it, then you could put it in the pod. You could put it in your regular coffee maker, you know? Or you can just put it in a saucepan with water. It's actually the way we taste coffee. To know the cup profile is just boiling water and putting the coffee grounds. And that's how you know that. It's the simplest way to know that this coffee is going to hold its profile, whether you are in Iceland, whether you are in Kenya, or whether you are somewhere in Timbuktu. Yeah. Huh. So it's a long time. I can say it takes a year and change for it to get from the plant to your cup.
So what's the hardest part about running a business in 2 countries?
Sometimes you don't have control. When you are so away from the source, even though you have people that you trust, in this case, it's my parents. I trust them. And then they also have to trust me that I'm presenting their product in the right way. So it's knowing that you're so far away from the community that actually pours so much. And sometimes they're not in a position to see the feedback, to hear the feedback from the people who I'm serving the coffee. So I say that disconnect is fair, and we are vertically integrated. I talk to my parents. Sometimes I video call them when I'm out in expos with customers. Now imagine buying a coffee from the store. You don't know where it came from, traceability. You don't know who is farming it, how they are farming it. So if that's a problem to me, and I'm like a phone call away from the producer or a flight away, now imagine how it is for other people. But I would say that's the most difficult thing. And then the other thing is really remaining consistent. When you love the craft and you understand what it takes to get that bean or that seed to cup, then you want to offer the best of the best. Mm-hmm. So remaining consistent and making sure that you're presenting that to people who, just want coffee. And you tell them, I don't want to just offer you coffee. I want to offer you an experience.
That makes sense. So your mission talks a lot about farmers thriving.
Yeah.
What does success look like for a farmer?
Success for a farmer is knowing that they can have a meal, they can clothe themselves, they can send their kids to school, they can be able to contribute to the community, a fundraiser to build a church, a fundraiser to build a road, a fundraiser to take someone's kid to school. That is success. And then there's something else that we say. When you're running a business, you want to feel good about it. You want to wear a nice suit, right? Yeah. You want to drive a good car. And that is what farmers don't get. So farmers are almost at the point where they are running, I would call it self-employed. They're employed by someone. They're employed by the middlemen. They're employed by the people who are at the tail end of the value chain. Instead of running businesses where they say, I had enough to feed myself, to put back to the soil, to put into the community, and hey, I'm flying to Dubai for 2 weeks for vacation. So that I think that's success. But to me, success is knowing that I can be able to pour back to the community and I have structures that are very sustainable. That's why we work very closely with the local primary school, where we have promised them that as much as we cannot fix all their problems in a marginalized community, someone told me it's not a small village. I call it a small village. A village is a village. That's what they told me. But knowing that I can be able to put smiles on these kids, give them hope, just like my parents told me, education is the escape to all your problems because nobody can take that away from you. They can start a business and it can for you, but it can fail. But if you have your papers, you know that you're always going to be successful. Yeah.
So, what's the best advice that you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
I have a mentor. He's almost 90 years old, and the advice he gave me is that it's not going to be easy, and there are days where you're going to feel like quitting, but the day that you feel like quitting, that is the day that you receive your blessings. So once you start something and you have your mind and passion in it, just keep going, just keep showing up. If it's a hard math question, it's a hard math paper that you're revising for, before you quit, put extra effort, and that's when you're going to grasp it. So that, I think that is the best advice. Yeah.
So, what's one moment in your career that really surprised you or taught you something big?
It's last year when we went back to my community, and I was planning to do something for the school. I was planning to form a structured way of giving back. And when I went to that school and the teachers pulled me aside and they told me that they take kids to school, to the hospital thinking they're sick, and then they realize that they're hungry, like they're just falling, and then they pull this girl who is deaf, right? And they have impaired hearing. They have never had in their life, but they're in a school that is not a special school, and they're in grade 6, and no teacher knows how to do sign language, and the parents don't know how to do sign language. That was one moment that I teared up, and I thanked God. They were blessing us. They were so thankful that we were there, but I'm forever grateful that they gave us an opportunity to go there and see what kind of problems are. And I was able to sponsor that girl because I thought it's a problem that was, whose solution was, too much delayed.
Yeah.
So it was an eye opener, and I'm so thankful. I went with my daughter, who was 7 by then, and for her to see what people have and to appreciate what she has was, a big moment for me. Yeah.
So, why would a kid listening today want to grow up and do your job?
Because it's fun and you get to drink a lot of coffee. Nah. Entrepreneurship.
I wish, man.
Entrepreneurship is fun because you are always solving problems. And in the process of solving problems, you have to innovate. And when you innovate, and some things look very tiny, but when you do small things continuously, consistently, you start realizing that you have innovated a lot in solving problems. And a lot of people that we read in the books, they were doing small things and they ended up being big things. And yeah, so I would say that's the fun thing about being an entrepreneur and pouring back to the community.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.